Everything comes from one simple idea, the concept. When something clicks, I feel that the story writes itself.
Right.
So once something just sparks and you know the characters and I have to have heart in the story. If there's heart and you root for the character, then you just evolve it and it's almost writes itself because you can foresee the journey.
This is the Cinematography for Actors podcast.
More than a podcast, Cinematography for Actors is a vibrant community devoted to bridging the gap between talent and crew. Each week, our show offers transparent, insightful conversations with industry leaders. We unveil the magic behind the scenes, from candid discussions about unique filmmaking processes to in-depth technical exploration. Join us in unraveling the intricacies of filmmaking one episode at a time. It's more than just cameras and lenses. We aim to inspire, educate, and empower as we peel back the curtain on the art of effective storytelling. Now on to the episode.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast here at the Mammoth Film Festival. We are joined, Deanna Underhill, and I am joined by my co-host, Jack Gibson. Haley is on the switcher now, which is fun. We get to switch our roles out.
Rotation.
Yeah, and we have Phil Volken here of Flycatcher, one of the features here at the festival. And now, Phil, welcome, first of all.
Well, thank you for having me.
And you are the writer and director of this
Correct.
film? Yes. Now, Flycatcher, the director of our film Doom Scroll, and also my partner, Mikey, he was saying that he was really looking forward to Flycatcher, and he told me about it before the trip even started because the log line was so enticing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about a group of women at sea who are stranded, get picked up by fishermen, and realize that might not have been the biggest threat, being stuck at sea. And this is a thriller, right?
Correct. And without giving too much away, the film is about human trafficking.
Okay.
And to me, it's one of the issues that I feel strongly about. So if anyone takes anything other than entertainment away from the film, then I've done my job. If there's like icing on the cake, just
The messaging.
the messaging, and just it's a dark movie.
Got it.
It's a dark film at the core of it because it's real.
Wow. And so what was your writing process like for this? How did what we see on the screen, what we're about to see at this festival on the screen, how does that reflect kind of the journey that you've been through with this project?
Everything comes from one simple idea, the concept. When something clicks, I feel that the story writes itself.
Right.
Once something just sparks and you know the characters and I have to have heart in the story. If there's heart and you root for the character, then you just evolve it and it's almost writes itself because you can foresee the journey. It's cliche as it sounds, hero's journey.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's you'd love to reinvent the wheel, but ultimately all comes down to the same formula,
right.
that you just have to overcome the obstacle that's thrown in the character's way.
Fantastic.
Right. And in terms of development of that kind of heart, I think every film has its nuances and that's important, but I think a lot of people can reduce certain genre films like thriller or horror to, it's scary, it's thriller, but that ultimately leads you not really to care for a lot of the characters or the concept. What was important to you in developing that heart as you were writing and directing this?
For me, it's the utmost importance to have a story that's rooted in reality.
Yeah.
That's the connection. If it's something real, if it's something that you can connect to, that's where it becomes suspenseful and scary. I'm not big on most horror movies because, there's no suspense to it. It's just most of it is just thrown in your face and you're supposed to be scared. But to me, it's a lot more scary when you intertwine the suspense in the character's journey.
Right.
We have some exciting news. CFA has teamed up with We Make Movies to get you a discount on production management services, including access to comprehensive production insurance and workers' comp for your next shoot. Visit wemakemovies.org/insurance and use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about production, casting, actually. What was your casting process like for this project?
I was fortunate enough to have a great casting director on this film. His name is Rick Montgomery. He's been around the business for a while. He did movies like The Green Book, and he's been doing studio films for 30 years. So he has a great eye for talent. So we were lucky to cast Isabel Gravett. She is she played in The Watcher, Netflix The Watcher. She was opposite Naomi Watts. She played her daughter. And she also did The Pretty Little Liars. So she's a really dramatic young actress that, quite frankly, she's one of the most talented people I've ever worked with.
Fantastic.
She's very young. When we shot this a year and a half ago, she was, I think it was 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And she's just so engaging and so captivating that we were very lucky with her. And we also had Janae Walton. She's doing big things too. She just appeared in Candy Cane Lane. She played Eddie Murphy's daughter on Netflix. So they're all young and up and coming actors that are that are doing solid quality work. And of course, our main villain, sort of, I hate the word villain. Our main antagonist is played by Alex Wraith, who is just such an enigmatic persona. And I feel like that he nailed the character, that you can't quite read him, and that's what makes him very unpredictable. So I feel that we were lucky to have our cast in that regard.
And are you doing the majority of the things in the film in camera, or did you work a lot in post, or what kind of like directing method did you have for your on-set workflow?
I like to have actors improvise a lot.
Okay.
That's one thing, is just make the script your own. Whatever you see on the page, know it. If you want to go by the book, go ahead. But I just rewrite it completely. Throw these lines out the window. Just go with the flow, go with the character, and then makes it very organic.
Yes.
And very dynamic. And some actors it drives them crazy.
Yeah.
Like no way. But most of them embrace it, and so to me, that's one of the things is that you just throw it out there and becomes a collaborative environment. To me, it's one of the key elements of directing is just letting people explore the world,
Right. Yeah.
and letting everyone just do what they're passionate about.
Fantastic.
What kind of tools are you using to help guide those actors in improv in terms of maintaining a tone that you're looking for? Or is it true improv of like, however you're feeling, put it on?
You mean for the improv, or just
For
in
the
general?
improv. Like when you're saying make the script your own, are you going up and kind of having conversations about the heart of the character or the tone, the overall tone that you're looking for to help them guide through that? Or do you truly want them to just from scratch improv?
No, absolutely. It starts with the character and the conversations
Yeah.
before the shooting. Once we understand the character and once we understand the background and where the character comes from, what moves them and how they can hit that spot where if they need to go in somewhere dark, what they're going to evoke in themselves to get there. So once you build that platform before you set foot on set, then at that point it's like a self-driving car.
Right.
You can just get there.
Great.
Now, is this the world premiere of Flycatcher at this festival?
It is, yes.
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
And so,
Thank you.
yeah, and so I know, so it's very like limited who's seen it thus far, but from the reactions you've had, have they surprised you? Have you felt like, yeah, this is in line to what I wanted to do, or is it surpassed expectations?
It's always a process. It always surprises you. Always. When you watch a movie with strangers or even colleagues, it always surprises you that certain people have different reactions where you didn't think they would.
Right.
So in that regard, it's great.
Yes.
It's great because when you write, direct, and edit, and then it's all in your head, and you really just don't know until you separate yourself from the project, walk away, and then let it breathe a little bit, and then see your friends, family, or even strangers, and then to see their reaction. Then you're like, okay, it just starts taking a different form.
Yes.
That's something just not yours, but it exists on its own.
Right.
Fantastic.
And then it becomes more real.
Yeah.
not just a figment of my imagination anymore.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, I'm so excited you were able to sit down with us, Phil. Thank you so much. This has been an interview with Phil Volken, writer and director of Flycatcher, that is having its world premiere. Congratulations
exciting.
this week at Mammoth Film Festival. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to see it. It's going to be fun.
Thank you.
Yes.
Forward
See
it.
you soon, everyone.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye-bye.
Join us in bridging the gap between talent and crew. Start by subscribing on your preferred podcast platform, sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on vendor discounts, community events, and new podcast releases, and educate yourself through our free course releases on YouTube. It all starts at cinematographyforactors.com. And if you like this episode, consider leaving a review to make it easier for other listeners to find us.